All right, this is the next episode in repairing Xena. I've replaced the blade on her because it was so horrible. It was only about 18 inches of it left. I don't have too many of these blades. There's the big center hole and then the two that fit on the pins on each side. This blade actually was a 21-inch blade, but it was worn towards the ends, so I ground it off using a bench grinder. That's what I used to do that. So I measured it, and I knew if I ground off the markings I had on it, I'd have a 20-inch blade. But then just to be sure, I mounted it, and then you spin it around by hand with the spark plug off, of course, and make sure it's not hitting anything. And it sits in the deck at a nice level where it'll cut the grass. You don't want them to be too high up in the deck or it won't do a good job. So I've got the blade on, and now we're gonna install the rewinder on the replacement that I put on this. I'm lowering this deck down by one hand. Ugh. All right, so if you'll remember, on the other piece like this, the one I took off, this was completely gone. This one was stripped, and that was the one over here was the only one that was working. So let me set the camera in the holster, and we're gonna attach this rewinder, and we may be pulling a cord on this thing pretty soon, a lot sooner than I thought. Let me get my gloves on. This motor was super dirty, so I've had to do a lot of toothbrushing and sweeping and cleaning little areas. All right, so that is engaging the starter cup, so that's good. Let me get my three. Where'd they go? I got to find my three screws that hold the rewinder on. I'm only seeing one. Hang on a second. Well, I'm gonna have to go into my supplies. Okay, I've got three of them now. The third one's not quite a match, but I think it'll be okay. It's got a point on the end. We'll see. Let's try it. Now it's lined up. That one. And get my 5/16 socket. I think I'm going to go ahead and put this one back and get one that matches the others. Okay, I found one with the little square tip. It'll match the others. Let's see if I can cinch this thing down. I got too much torque on there. There we go. It can kind of hurt your wrist if you put too much torque on it. This thing's still pretty dirty up in there. Let me get a toothbrush on this one more time. Bring some of this dirt out of here. One thing I want to encourage you guys to do is to not give up on these, even if they look old and worn out, and think, oh, I'm going to change this primer bulb. All you have to do is hold this up here and push the bulb and hold your cheek here and close to your ear, and you'll feel a little brush of air, maybe hear it too. So this is fine. That's how you check it. All right, let's see if we can get this thing mounted now, because I'll need this to prime real good. I should have put this on first before I did the cover, but I think I can reach up in here and get it to go on. You got to get you got to get the crankcase vent tube where it's attached in the back. In fact, let me go ahead and take this off. I'll do this right. One, two. There's my 3 screws. Now, see, I've got to get this. The reason I'm doing this, I want to make sure that that hose is flush up against that. Right now it's not, and it's hard to get to if you with that. You know. Let me go ahead and attach it, and then I'll put that hose on. I've got to find 2 of these screws that attach to this metal, because he had one that was incorrect and one that was just missing. It's in the little posts are in the holes. Move that hose up, but I still need 2 of those screws. Let me get my modern parts. Okay, I think I see them. Okay, I've saved this from so many engines that I've taken apart. These are the screws I need to attach this. They're little 5/16 head screws, I think. They're kind of short. Make sure I'm telling you the right thing. There's a 5/16. And I'm just going to get these started. And before I tighten them up, I'm going to put the little screws that actually attach this to the carburetor. This is just attaching to the plate that the carburetor rests in. Okay, that one may be stripped because of that weird screw he had in there. It feels secure. I don't know. Let's try this one. They're going in, but we never worked on this last, I think. Strip these out, but they're, I mean, it's snug, surprisingly. That's good enough. All right. So now the important one, the important two, are the little screws that attach this plate to the carburetor, and I've got to find those. There's one. Where's the other one? Where'd you go? And two, I think. Is that it? Yeah. Okay. These are the two screws that are going to attach it, and they are a 9/32 socket. So I'm going to do this by hand with this little 1/4-inch drive, get them started. And oftentimes these won't line up. The carb won't line up with that hole, so you have to manipulate this plate or the carburetor in order to do that. But let's see if they're lined up. Okay, they're not. So let me get my flashlight and see which direction I have to go. Okay, the plate is too low, so I've got to push the carburetor down in order to reach it, or push the plate up. So let me see which is easier to do. Could be the carburetor, because I just tried to move that and that didn't work. So let me see if the carburetor will move. Let me set these two screws down here. Okay, they're not lining up. That'd be forcing things. So I'm going to loosen these. I'm going to loosen these screws here a little bit. Keep coming out? Of course not. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this plate is looser now. So let me check my flashlight again. I'm going to pull up on the plate while I'm pushing the carburetor down, and now they're in line, so I'm going to quickly try to get a screw in there before it moves out of alignment again and get us started. All right, it's going in there, got it started. All right, now I'm going to look at the other one and see if it's, yep, okay. So it's okay. Now I can start this one. I'll just do this by hand with these, because these don't need to be super tight anyway. So there's one, here's the other one. Got it snug and got it snug, and now I'll go back and tighten these. I got this on super low torque. Let's see what we got. It is going in. And I think it's pretty stripped. All right, it's on there nice and firm now. So now the crankcase vent tube is in place. Let's see, that just moved. Oh, it's still smooth. Okay. Now I can put this rewinder on, and everything's where it should be. So 1, 2, 3. That's in place. That one's lined up. No, it's not. Now it is. That one is. Now it's lined up. So I'll start with this one. A little more cork on this baby. Okay. Now, just for testing, I don't really need an air filter on this. That'll go on after I make sure that it's going to run. So let me clear some stuff out of the way. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and say bye for now until I can pull the cord on this thing. It'll probably be a short video because I'm hoping it's gonna run.